Let's make this 5-layer red velvet cake with vanilla bean cream cheese frosting. We're going to start by sifting our flour straight into our mixing bowl. You're going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. And I literally forgot to sift this flour, but you should definitely sift the flour. But 4 cups of all-purpose flour to your mixing bowl, 3 cups of sugar go in, as well as 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 2 teaspoons of salt, okay? And we want to put that straight into the mixing bowl along with 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And then we're going to give this a mix to start combining it. And then we were going to add to that 2 sticks or 1 cup of room temperature butter. And I'm just cutting the butter in kind of like you would biscuits, but I want it to break up, so that's why I'm cutting it in cubes, so it can go ahead and break up and start to distribute itself throughout the flour. So that's 2 sticks or 1 cup of room temperature butter, and I use salted, but you can use unsalted if that's what you prefer. Either one will work. And to that, we're going to add 1 cup of vegetable oil. And this is on a low speed. So on a low speed, you're going to just add all your ingredients in. After this, we're going to start to add, I believe, our eggs. And we got 4 room temperature eggs, 4 large room temperature eggs. You want to just continue to add those in on a low speed, one at a time, kind of mixing well after each addition. Also remembering to scrape your bowl as you're doing this. And then once we get all of our eggs in, we want to add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And to that, we're going to add a couple of teaspoons of white distilled vinegar. Also, you want to add about a couple tablespoons of red food coloring. I like to use the gel food coloring. And you're going to add all of that in. Again, also mixing at a low speed. You want to start to gradually add in about 2 cups of room temperature buttermilk. Gradually, just slowly add it in. And the last ingredient will be 1 cup of hot coffee. I used instant espresso, but you can also just use regular brewed coffee. Make sure it's hot and make sure it's 1 cup. And you want to slowly incorporate that. But once you get it all fully incorporated, you want to turn this up to a medium speed and beat it for 2 minutes straight. And once you've done that, it's pretty much ready to bake. So you're going to bake this in a preheated oven at about 335 to 45 degrees for about 35 to 45 minutes. Now I'm dividing this up into 3 8-inch pans. These pans are 8 by 3 inches, so they're 8 inches in diameter, 3 inches high. You could also bake this in a 9 by 13, or you could do 2 9-inch and just have some batter left over for cupcakes, however you want to do it. But for our 5-layer cake, we're going to start off baking these in 3 8-inch pans. And once we get our cakes baked and cooled, we'll make the frosting. I'm going to put the recipe for the frosting in the description box below on my YouTube channel. And it is a vanilla bean cream cheese icing. I did take all 3 of those layers and I split them in half. You ended up with 6 layers. Okay, and then I used 5 of those layers to build the cake with. The 6th layer is what I use for the outside of the cake as the garnish. So I hope this helps. Try the recipe and happy baking.